I think recognizing that we can't come, if we really want to know an object or we really want to understand an art piece, or we have to sort of shed our own identities as much as we can and try to see an object in its own context, in its own terms as much as possible. My name is Dr. Kyle Metzger, and I'm an assistant professor of art history at Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois, in the US. I think observation is probably 60% of what I emphasize as an art historian, especially as a teacher of art history, just learning to observe and see what a problem is in all of its many possibilities, and spending time looking at a problem, looking at a material, looking at a situation before coming up with half-baked solutions, really letting solutions come later, is really something I borrow from art history. Because if I'm working on an article or a book chapter on a particular artist or a period in time, I really have to look at the objects to see what they tell me, rather than creating some story that I'm trying to fit the art objects into, because that leaves so much information out and it really shuts down conversation. So I think the insistence on really looking at a problem or looking at an object from all sides for a very long time, sometimes 2 and 3 times more than you think, is seeming to me, as now a budding entrepreneur, a foundation for both practices. And I think about why art, or what stories art tells that other things, other media can't tell. And so less than a period in American art or in art in general, I'm interested in what art does for histories of humanity. I think recognizing that we can't come, if we really want to know an object or we really want to understand an art piece, or understand why the things that I just saw in the museums here in Mexico City are in those museums, why people care about them, we have to sort of shed our own identities as much as we can and try to see an object in its own context, in its own terms as much as possible. And it seems to me that that is an incredibly valuable thing for entrepreneurs and business. And I think too, art helps us get to what it means to be human. I think the freedom to experiment is a big part of art making, at least in the contemporary sense. Historically, not so much, but experimenting with things and seeing what happens when you make a certain mark a certain number of times, right? And not knowing the outcome, but letting yourself kind of wait and see it.